Ooh, that looks tasty. Folks, today the Hungry Gamer is back with another how-to play video, and today we're learning how to play Tic Tac Slash, designed by Brandon Simmons and published by the Wilder Forge. Now this video is going to be broken down into two parts. The first part is going to be showing you how to play the core basic game, and then at the end I will explain the two variants that come in the game, and they recommend that you only play with one of them at a time, but you are welcome to play with both. Now, the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to separate out the two starting cards, being the X and the O. Then all of the other cards you're going to take, and you are going to give a good shuffle. Then you are going to deal out half of the deck to each player. And that will be 8 cards to each player. And you will take the X and O card. And you know these are the X and O card because you flip them over. On the back, it has the variant rules. And you take those and you will shuffle them up and randomly assign one to each player, like so. And the player that has the X is going to go first. And so what the X player will do is they will simply set out their card onto the table. Then O will follow. And now, as with any game of Tic Tac Toe, you are trying to get 3 of your symbol in a row, be it orthogonally or diagonally. And you'll see there are these ninjas here, which just kind of block off the spaces. And so when you play your card, you have to play it to where it overlaps at least one space on a previously played card, and you have to play it in this vertical orientation, meaning you can play it like this, or you can rotate it 180 degrees like that. You can never play a card like this. So for the sake of argument, we will say that we're going to play this card right here, like so. Then it would go to the X player, and then they would get to choose any of the cards from their hand and then play it out onto the board. Again, following the same placement rules as before. And so what I think they're going to do is they are going to do this right here. And now they have 2 X's and are in a pretty good position. It would go back then to the O player, and the O would do their very best to stop this from happening. And so instead, you would think that this would be a very good play right here. However, you'll note that that would be covering 4 different spaces, so that would not be a legal play. However, what they can do is spin it around this way, and they could play it like that, which, as you can imagine, might not be the smartest play, because now we see there's an opportunity there for the X. Then X is going to go, and they're going to look. We're going to have the X go ahead and place right here. Now this gives the X an opportunity this way, and so now they're in a pretty good spot. And then we come back to the O, and the O sees this, so they want to stop this in any way that they can. Again, that looks like a good play. That's not a legal play. That looks like a good play, but again, not legal. So they're just going to try to do a block. And to do that, they are going to find a nice card that will slow down the X and not hurt them. And so they're going to go ahead and do that right there. And then we'll pass right on back to the X, and you see how this game works. And so the X is going to go ahead and win the game right here, but they can't because that's not a legal placement. And we would go on and on like so. Now, I'm not going to go through a whole turn here, but this gives you the idea of how the game works. You're going to play until one player manages to get a tic-tac-toe, and then that would be the end of the game. Now, if we played out all of the cards and neither player had succeeded in getting a tic-tac-toe, the player that has the most of their symbol showing, in this case it would be the O, would be the winner, and if it is still tied, it is called a slash, meaning it is a tie. Play again. Now, that's how Tic Tac Slash works. However, as I mentioned at the very beginning, there are 2 variants that you can play with. The first of these variants is called the Ninja Fury variant, and that's when you see the Ninja Fury symbol, and that means it can never be covered. So in other words, if the board state looked like this, it would be obvious that both the O or the X could win by taking that space, either with something like this, or something like that. However, because it's the Ninja Fury variant, this space could not be covered, and O would have to do something else, probably something like that, and then they would win. That is one of the two variants. The second variant is known as the weapons variant, and that has to do with specific ninjas that are out on the board when you make your play. And the way this works is as you're playing, you are also trying to get the same ninja symbol in a row to gain one of the various effects. So if this was our board state, and a player played this right here, there would be 3 scrolls next to each other, which would activate the scroll ability, which would mean you can immediately look at your opponent's hand, thus giving you an idea of what it is thus giving you an idea of what they have and what they might be trying to do. Next, we have the katanas. And what the katana does is it's going to allow you to remove one card that's already on the board, just so long as it's not overlapping another card. So in other words, this card could be removed, but if it was like this bottom card could not be removed. Next, we have the hand-to-hand symbols, which, similar to the katana, is going to allow you to shift one card one space, like so, or like so, again, so long as it's not covered by something, and so long as it doesn't break the placement rules. So if the cards were like this, you could not then do that, because that would be completely covering a card and against the rules. The last 2 types of cards are the ninja stars and the kunai. When you play 3 kunai in a row, it allows you to rotate any card 180 degrees, again, so long as it's not overlapped by another card, or that winds up breaking the rules in some way, shape, or form. And then finally, we have the ninja stars. When you get 3 of those in a row, it allows you to change symbols with your opponent. In other words, if you are the O, you are now the X. And those are the 2 official variants for Tic Tac Slash. I hope you found this video useful, and if you have any questions or comments on this game, please leave them down in the description. As always, if you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, share, maybe become a channel member. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.